Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Maddie. I started a foundation recently called The Goods of Good Hope. I'm just here to kind of, figure out what I'm actually doing. There's so much to this project that I'm pouring my heart and soul into that I don't know where to start. So as I was coming to this idea and figuring this out and how I would do it in my head, I frantically text my mom and told her I had this idea. In my active addiction, this would be something that I would do on a regular basis. In a sense, encouraged me to, I'll quote what she said. Why does it always have to be such a grand thing with you? Why don't you just grow a garden and, a small garden in your backyard? And I was like, kind of frustrated by it. I honestly spent the rest of the night texting her and trying to convince her of my ambition and, if you're not going to back me up, then who's going to back me up? And I'm going to do it anyways. And, all this kind of furious texting. And I was so dead set on starting this that I didn't want to hear any ridicule, I guess. This whole project is about looking inward and seeing what my problems are and how my problems can help other people. Within the problem is the solution. This is about, me in that sense, but it's really about, growth and seeing how far you can push yourself in a lifetime. I don't know, I feel like I have a second lease on life. I guess part of me never meant for this to be a vlog or never meant for this to be a web series or anything like that. I mean, this was just simply an idea to bring better food quality, better water quality to my community and help feed other people in the process. So I kind of looked inward to what my mom said to me. I made excuses. It was freezing cold out. I've made a garden before. My ideas are bigger than a garden, and thinking on it and getting, kind of talking my frustrations out to my wife, I realized that, don't tell her I said this, but she was right. My wife and her were both right in the sense of you were so ambitious, but you, in a sense, they were trying to say, you got to start at the ground level. You have to start right where you are. It took me a good day to take that in. So I spent the day kind of thinking about how that would impact anything, or, I was like, no, the garden's not going to do it. But it is. It's gonna do it. It's gonna start it, because the idea is to start it in my backyard and then start it in my community. It's not such a radical idea of a community, working together for an unknown, in reality, long-term goal is human nature. We thrive off of each other's differences and what people are talented at. Some of the best places in the world were built off of radical thinking, but also rooted and grounded facts. Trying to wrap my head around all of it, I started right away. I popped up the next morning. This is actually day 2. My pre-vamp to get this foundation off its feet. Decided on March 1st we're going to be opening up fundraising and community outreach side of this project. It's really about communicating to our community what our goals are, seeing what they would like to see out of what we build, getting to the root of what Good Hope issues are. One of my biggest fears, not that I'm some doomsday prepper, but one of my biggest fears as a community that I live in is that if a natural disaster such as a tornado were to hit, our irrigation systems in our community is not ready for something like that. After even a couple days of rain, just little things, and to think on what would happen on a more disastrous level, even if it would rain 4 or 5 days longer than that. Where is this water going? If it is going back into the community, it's not treated well. We're not storing the energy that we all have right at our fingertips, not treating it well. We're skipping steps. I already had kind of sought out a location for where I wanted to put this in the location that we have found is pivotal to first start at the water and reprocessing the water and, cleaning up the water in general. But how do we harness that energy and how do we use that for better things? And I'm ready to share those things with everyone around me in my community first, and hopefully that will outgrow this little place and grow into other places. But it does. It starts here. It starts now. And my love for my community that has raised me and saved me and nurtured me to grow to where I am today. I have an outright respect for everyone that has done anything for me. I'm here today because of where I grew up, the people that love me. I think about all the time and energy that those people I love put into me during my addiction. All that energy they put into me, I knew financially, I was never gonna be able to repay them. I wouldn't have been able to go to treatment. I wouldn't have been able to go to intensive inpatient therapy to get the help I needed. I suffer from mental health issues. I have Huntington's disease, and I also have addiction issues in my blood. Where I'm at is, it's my responsibility somehow, some way to repay that. And as good and well as that is, to think like that, I believe in that. If you ever take anything from anyone, give it back. You know what I mean? That's just, mama rule number one. And my idea is to share my creativity and my life with others, because I've had the opportunity to travel and go numerous places and see so much and absorb so much culture throughout my really young life. My responsibility in a sense to bring that culture and that experience back to my community. I mean, that is what we have been doing since humans have been standing upright. We are hunters, gatherers, and some people are better at hunting, some people are better at gathering, some people are better at organizing. That's just how it works. And our shut off, perspective of this is the only way and this is the only thing that's going to be able to make things work. Let's go back further, than that. Let's go back to what has made communities small villages I live in great. I live a very small life in a very small place. My house is tiny. You can literally see the whole house from where I'm at. And it's not about how big my place is. I love where I am. My wife and my family, we can eat here. We had Friendsgiving here, socially distanced with COVID going on. It's just about making conscious efforts to utilize your space in the best way you possibly can, and that's where it starts. It starts here. So I hope this inspires anyone to just plant a seed, tell someone, hey, someone's really trying their hardest to get to the root of the long-term issues. I don't have the answers. I don't plan on having all the answers. I have the courage to get, knee deep in the mud to find the answers. I have the knowledge to look in the right places for the answers. I trust my community to do the rest. This is about trust. This is about faith. This is about understanding that when you have a purpose and you have a meaning and you have a drive and goal to get somewhere and go and help and do something, get up and do it. I was miserable. I was eating miserable food and being so shut off, and it became nauseating. And I just remember waking up and feeling like I was in a jail or a mental institution. The walls felt like they were spinning. They felt like I was losing it. I was at a point where I was trying to fight my addiction, but it still had a hold of me. I was at a point where I was vulnerable. My problems, I guess, I never presented like this, but they're very real. I lost a friend really close to me, and Zach, I love you, miss you. It had all these excuses, not excuses, but I had all these things that like anyone looking at me were like, man, I understand like why you're depressed. I get it, because anyone in my position probably would have been. It takes a strong human, but it also takes a strong community and effort to help rehab a person in that state. I thought I was never going to walk without a cane again. I thought that my career and or just even working in general was over. I thought I was never going to be able to repay my parents. I never thought I was going to be able to be there for my family, my kids, my wife. It just shows the bravery and the willpower that we had to make things better, to make our situation better, and not make excuses together. We made efforts every day to not make excuses, and breaking down ourselves and looking inward to find out what our problems were. It's not at all easy to look in the mirror and say that you are the issue. And there's going to be plenty of people who say that I wasn't the only problem, but I was a problem to myself. I was a problem to my children. I was a problem to my direct family. No matter how much I didn't want them to worry about me, when you love someone, you constantly, no matter what it is, you love them and you worry about them. Efforts are going to be unnoticed or unseen. Yeah, I don't want that to happen anymore. I want everyone's effort that they put into me to be seen, because it will save my life. I think it's going to help save my kids' grandparents and save my kids, from having to struggle through life because they don't know where they're going or what they want. It is overwhelming for me, this is about being honest. This is about being direct and, not hiding from the issues. I look at Good Hope, just this small place, what I've, seen it as for the last 32 years, and it was useless to me. It was a dead town. All you got is a firehouse and the gas station. Most people don't even know that we have a firehouse. I felt like I had no place in it. I wasn't a farmer. I wasn't about to, build a barn. I couldn't imagine how much of that, some of the natural resources that we have here get wasted away just by their mistreatment, from getting them out of the ground to getting them up to a table. I'm ready to dedicate my life to this. This isn't just about, finding a home. I really hope that this goes further. I hope, maybe 10 years from now, there's like on the property just lush of fruits and vegetables and flowers, and that we can naturally resource from to have some clean water back into our environment. I don't think just one person has an answer. This is about not blindly shooting into the future. This is about getting to what is going to be best, what is going to help. This isn't about what is economically gonna help us survive for the next 5 to 10 years. This is about, what we're gonna do environmentally for the next 5 to 10 years. And that in itself is the most important thing about the whole project. And this needs to be preserved like right now, or that land will be lost and we won't have, a place to filter, natural water resources. Our drains will stay clogged. We will not have proper irrigation. We will not have initiative to, put funding into other places. We won't have extra funding to do it. I'm not asking you guys for, a city budget. I am asking for donation and or a share, a small sliver of whatever it is that you can help give. I don't care what it is. It's important about the message. We'll see where this journey takes us. It's about not knowing where you're going, but starting to pave that road and hopefully pave that road for the future, and for our community and our next generations to come. I'm so excited about this project. I wake up finally in just utter joy. From 5 months ago, I was still heavy in, drinking, and my addiction was sick. I was, still using a cane. I had a different brain, different perspective, different, agenda. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not about me becoming rich whatsoever. As long as this project gets off the ground, and I will live the way I'm living now as long as this place comes to be. I know and trust and love my community and the people that understand the importance of this. Securing the land is the first priority. We understand getting that land is the priority, but we do not want to skip out on, community outreach and, showing the reasoning why this is important, giving a reason to not so much always financially invest, but maybe personally invest. I can't do everything myself. I, can always just use a helping hand. I can always use a good smile, a good sandwich, someone to tell me to slow down, to eat something. So I've decided, for the next 3 months, starting March 1st, I'm going to be dedicating the next 3 months directly to this foundation. I know that this will work out if I put my heart and soul into it. And what's another few months of hard work and determination, doing what's best. We've been shut inside for the last, 6 months to a year. So what's another 3 months? I just need this property, and then the hard work begins. I'm all about it. Let's go. Team up. Share this video. This is all about, giving back to the sustainability and the preservation of this land. And we're starting here. Who knows where this will go? Hopefully this will inspire people, maybe even across the world, to maybe just start a garden and inspire someone else. Yeah, I've been broke, I've been poor, I've been hungry, I've been successful, I've been a failure, and from all those things, I hope to bring the most beautiful thing back. Me, there's no such thing in failing in this. There's no such thing as not doing a good job. It just takes one person to clean up a little bit of trash. The infatuation of knowing that I can provide something to this earth that will outlive me. I know my time, is limited on this earth, so I want to impact it as much as I possibly can while I have the chance. And it's radical, and it's going to take time and effort and help, but whatever, But, on my journey, I've met so many great people that have influenced me to stay sober, to do better in my life, and to encourage other people. I just want to bring that here and, show why this place is so great. This is our own little hidden gem. Once this project started and everything, I really hope this will encourage people that enjoy the beauty of growth and, nature, and what nature has to provide for us. Starting March 1st, we're going to start the community outreach and the fundraising process. So I really hope you stay tuned in and follow us through this journey. You guys can help by liking this, by commenting on this, by sharing this, and inspire people to do something with the energy they have on this earth. But I've been driving the Jade up the wall with this since I've been sober, so I'm sure she's ready for you guys to hear it, not her. Here's to the next 3 months. Alright everyone, for now, it is Maddie. I am out of here. Keep growing, keep thinking, and keep loving each other. Take care of each other, and we will see you on our next episode. Chewy, say bye.